Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad. Jai Guru Maharaj Shila Shripad ki jai. Jai Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18. Diti was to kill Indra. Text number 60. Ekada sa tu sandhyayam uchista vrata karsita aprishtavari adhautangrihi suswapa vidhi mohita. Translation. Having grown weak and thin because of strictly following the principles of the vow, Diti once unfortunately neglected to wash her mouth, hands and feet after eating and went to sleep during the evening twilight. Text number 61. Labdhva tad antaram sakro nidra pahurta chetasa dite pravishta udaram yogeso yogamayaya. Finding this fault, Indra, who has all the mystic powers, the yoga siddhis such as Anima and Laghima, entered Diti's womb while she was unconscious, being fast asleep. Purport. A perfectly successful yogi is expert in 8 kinds of perfection. By one of them, called Anima Siddhi, he can become smaller than an atom. And in that state, he can enter anywhere. With this yogic power, Indra entered the womb of Diti while she was pregnant. Text number 62. Chakarta saptadha garbham vajrena kanaka prabham rudantam saptadhaikam marodirititan punaha. After entering Diti's womb, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces her embryo, which appeared like glowing gold. In 7 places, 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, "Do not cry," and then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again. Purport. Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur reminds that Indra, by his yogic power, first expanded the body of the one Marut into 7, and then when he cut each of the 7 parts of the original body into pieces, there were 49. When each body was cut into 7, other living entities entered the new bodies, and thus they were like plants, which become separate entities when cut into various parts and planted on a hill. The first body was one, and when it was cut into many pieces, many other living entities entered into new bodies. Wonderful. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodara Swami Niti Namine. Nama Sadbhakta Manaye Manipurudbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Lasadvani Prachara Niratayate. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. जय गुरु शिला श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, भक्ति वेदांता परपोर्ट्स की जय. 60, 61, 62. So 60. Having grown weak and thin because of strictly following the principles of the vow, Diti once unfortunately neglected to wash her mouth, hands and feet after eating and went to sleep during the evening twilight. So here we are witnessing how Diti, though wanted to take revenge on Indra, she failed to take revenge. Because without the sanction of the Supreme Lord, they say even a grass cannot move. So then how is it possible without the sanction of the Supreme Lord that Diti can take revenge on a great personality like Indra? It is not going to be successful. So therefore, one should be fully aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the well-wisher and protector of all beings, including demons. So he protects them as much as they don't offend the devotees or they don't torture the devotees. That is the time when they fail their mercy. But otherwise, every living being is Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. So Lord has his Suhrid, his well-wisher and loving friend to all beings, irrespective of whether one is favorable or inimical to Lord himself. So that is the nature of the Lord, that is the nature of the Supreme Being. So if Lord is able to tolerate offenses towards to him, why we cannot tolerate offenses to us? We are very tiny beings, very small beings, very, very minute, negligible. And we cannot even lift a grass without the help from the Supreme Lord. So, if one wants to be spiritual, one has to develop the qualities of the Supreme Spirit. Quantity we can never obtain, but we have the potential to cultivate the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when one is able to be equal to friends as well as enemies, then he is beginning in the transcendental platform. Until then, we cannot actually say that we have begun our transcendental journey. And one is perfectly on the platform of transcendental platform. He doesn't see anybody as friends or enemies. He has equal vision for everybody. He sees everyone as a servant of the Lord, as an Amsha, as a children of God. Everyone is a children of God. And everyone is a Vaishnava. That is a vision when one attains the uh, perfect stage of Uttamadhikari. But those who are in the mission, preaching mission, they act on the platform of Madhyamadhikari to see the to improve the condition of the living being, which he is entitled to improve, which he is supposed to improve, which he is appointed to look after. So therefore, transcendental platform, if you are really interested in transcendental platform, the most important thing is to be not inimical to anybody, to not develop any bad feelings to anybody, even though they might have harmed us. This is a challenge to each one of us. Can you be nice to your enemy? Can you be nice to your somebody who is thinking bad about you? This is a question we have to ask, and this is a question that spirituality, transcendence is asking us. The Bhagavad Gita is asking us. Can you be nice to the person who is trying to be harm you, trying to be nasty with you, or you think he is backstabbing you? Can you be nice to him? This is the question. This is a question the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam are putting to us. So, if we analyze this, then we will be really humbled that how many people we don't want to be nice with because we have so many reasons. So, he has done this to me, and or he spoke this to me, or he is not giving me importance, or he is not giving me time, he is not showing me love, he is not giving me care, he is not praising me, or he is not. So many reasons we have to feel inimical, envious towards other beings, in spite of the person must have done so many favors for us that we don't remember. That is our nature of conditioned life here. So in the conditioned life, benefits we forget very easily because the benefits we are looking, or we treat them as benefits, are those which are transient, which are temporary, mostly satisfying to the senses and mind temporarily. This is what we see them as benefits. So therefore, though any number of benefits one may receive, one immediately forgets because those benefits disappear as soon as we enjoy them. And we have new aspirations and new requirements. So therefore, we forget them all. But something which is not favorable, we remember that for a long time and wait for the opportunity to take the revenge on the person. So this is a conditioned life, which is because of ignorance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Father. So if we are aware, if we are conscious of the Father, we would not dare to harm another child of the Father because we will be immediately punished, or he will prevent us. It is not a question whether we are right or wrong. There is no question of right or wrong. So this vow to kill Indra, it is because of ignorance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or there is some knowledge but that is not sufficient knowledge. You have knowledge, sufficient, necessary knowledge, but not sufficient knowledge. So, right? Being wife of Kashmir Muni, definitely she has some introduction to transcendence, spiritual life, just like we all have introduction to Krishna consciousness. Just like Diti's exposure and state level was not sufficient to overcome such feelings. Similarly, though we are introduced to Krishna consciousness, though we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we don't have sufficient Krishna consciousness of Krishna to avoid such incidents. So we have to keep the feelings of the Lord above our feelings. That is Krishna consciousness. We should keep feelings of Krishna above our feelings. That is Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is self-consciousness. This is not Krishna consciousness. Krishna is there as only somebody who is order carrier or prayer carrier. I will put it in nicely. Krishna, please, I want to do this because this person is like this. Please help me. so Krishna is like a prayer carrier. He's a polished word for the order carrier. We make Krishna as a prayer carrier. Means he is the one who carries our feelings to fulfill our feelings. That is not Krishna consciousness. That is beginner Krishna consciousness, or we can say Kanishta Krishna consciousness. So the advanced consciousness is that what feelings Lord has for this person, or what feelings Sri Guru has for this person. So when we start thinking in that terms, then our Krishna consciousness has started. Real Krishna consciousness. Because then we started caring for Krishna's feelings. And when we engage in that, then we forget our feelings. Or Krishna's feelings become our feelings. That is what I want. What Krishna wants, that is what I want. What Sri Guru wants, that is what I want. And the feelings that Sri Guru has on this person, that is the feeling that I also have. I don't have any separate feeling for this person. So if one cultivates this kind of consciousness, then he can come to transcendental platform. Otherwise, one will be in very ordinary platform like Diti is. It is very, very ordinary platform to take woe to harm somebody, to kill somebody, though he might have given some harm, because we are forgetting that whatever is happening, there is a higher. There are many reasons. I am not the center of the universe. Though I may be involved, or though some loss I might have incurred, but there is a very large scheme of things which I am a minute part of. So therefore, if we lose that bigger vision, we will be stuck in narrow-minded self-serving purposes. So then we'll end up in a situation like this, like Diti, to take revenge on Indra. So these are the lesson for us, because we are all have to go through all these stages before we become eligible to live with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right now, we are eligible to live in this place where it is not a place for gentleman, which means that we are not gentle. We have to develop gentleness. Gentle means to be kind to others and to forgive, and even though they might be harming us. Because Krishna is there. Krishna, without sanction of the Lord, nobody can harm us. So this we must be very, very convinced. Though I may know somebody is trying to harm me, but without the sanction of the Lord, without the sanction of Lord Krishna, he will not be able to touch. He will not be able to touch me. So this confidence we must have. Krishna, because Krishna declares in Gita that my dear Arjuna, one who does good is never vanquished. There may be some temporary turbulences, right? Like when we travel in the flight, there is sometimes a frightening turbulences. But aeroplanes, they are designed to go through the turbulences. Turbulences will not be able to harm the aircraft. They are designed in such a way. So, but if one is not knowledgeable about this, he may just open a door, emergency door, and jump out of it, thinking that he is going to be finished. Turbulences are normal. Aircrafts are designed to handle these turbulences. So similarly, there may be many turbulences in our life, but we should not jump out of it thinking that it is harmful, because it is fully under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Turbulences won't be able to harm us unless I harm myself by jumping out of it. So similarly, nobody can harm us. Though they may be inimical, though they may be adverse, though they may have plans, but nobody can harm us unless we harm ourselves by degrading ourselves from the transcendental platform to the platform where Diti is right now. So nobody can harm unless we harm ourselves. If we remain on transcendental platform, we remain dependent on the Lord. We remain dedicated for the mission of the Lord. We keep aside our mission and keep the mission of the Lord in the front. We keep our feelings aside and keep the feelings of the Lord above. Nobody will be able to touch us. However strong and powerful they may be, because nobody is equal to or greater than Krishna. So one who is in this consciousness is fully dependent, is called surrendered. Principles of Sharanagati is that Krishna will surely protect me. This is Sharanagati, which means nobody can harm. Nobody can harm me. So in this way, if we develop our Sharanagati, so okay, whatever happens, this is also one of the principles, that whatever comes by the providence, we should be satisfied. Gunjanu evatma kritam vipakam is my karma coming to me. This is called humility. If we don't have this humility, then we take the same path. We harm ourselves. Nobody will harm us. Whatever progress, our progress is already very, very slow. Very, very slow because of our so much absorption in the matter and material enjoyment. On top of this, we get into this kind of modes, revenge modes, and it will completely destroy our path, completely distract us. So, therefore, we should learn that we also will not be able to harm anybody without the sanction of the Lord. That also we should be very, very mindful. We will not be able to harm anybody, even if somebody has done something wrong, without the permission, sanction of the Lord. So therefore, we must think, am I in a position to inflict punishment or harm to somebody? So therefore, we should not take situation into our hands. That would be completely distract us from our already very snail pace. Our pace is very, very snail pace. So much abhiman we have, so much abhiman. How many lifetimes will take to come out of this abhiman? This abhiman means we are unable to control our feelings, knowing the feelings of the Lord, Guru and Krishna. This is abhiman. We know this is what they like. They love this person as much as they love me. So therefore, why I should take revenge, even though they take revenge, they harm me. This is a Arjuna, is a devotee. He's feeling, my Lord, even if they kill me unarmed, the Kauravas, why should I kill them? So this is the compassion of a devotee. So this compassion, we should never leave it. We should cultivate compassion. So because it is only in showing compassion that we receive compassion from above. We will compel to get the compassion. So therefore, but one is very hell bent on taking revenge, just like Kashyapa Muni is giving some way to show that he has given a way, but also he's showing that number one, you are very, very insignificant. You will not be able to follow the process. Because to do some vrat, it is not only our endeavor, but also the cooperation of the demigods and also the cooperation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is required to carry on any activity. Cooperation of the demigods and sanction of the Lord. Because the demigods, they are directly controlling our bodily functions. So now Diti wants to take revenge on the person who is the master of all these demigods. You see, this is called ignorance. So especially if somebody is more powerful, more in a higher position, or somebody superior, we should not get into this revenge mode. So because this is what happens, you want to take revenge, you need cooperation from so many people. And they don't agree with you because demigods, Krishna, they know our life, past 100 lives. Krishna knows past 1,000, 1 million lifetimes what we have done. Krishna also knows the other person of past 1 million times what he has done. And whatever punishment has to be given, Krishna will definitely give. If some devotee does wrong, Krishna personally gives also punishment also. So we don't need to spoil our consciousness and get into this mode. We don't need to unnecessarily spoil. That is dependent on Krishna. First of all, we should not have these feelings to take revenge. Even if we have, then also just depend on Krishna. That is intelligence. But that is not very advanced stage. That is very, very, very ordinary stage. So here we see Diti, she is following so many days, but on one fine day, she neglected to wash her hands, mouth, hands, and feet. Mattah smritir gnanam apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, forgetfulness, and remembrance. So somehow she forgot for a moment about her determination to take revenge. Right? So these things do happen. So Kashyapa Muni was showing how insignificant Diti is. Such a small brata, which is in her very well. She was thinking that she could do it in the beginning. That she was very, very confident that she can very easily do it because she was so determined. But she is unable to realize she is so insignificant. That such a small vrat, for a limited period, she is unable to do it. But she is very determined to take revenge on Indra. So the moral of the story is that Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. We have to quickly come to this stage if we want to go back to Godhead in this life. This is sure. This is very, very sure. And nobody can harm us unless we harm ourselves. So now Diti has put herself into such a situation where Indra has to personally come and enter her womb and to destroy her embryo. Cut her embryo into pieces. So we should not put ourselves into such situations. That sometimes in anger we forget our situation, our mission, our goal of life we forget and get into petty things. It is a petty thing to take to kill Indra. She has got Kashyapa Muni, such a great transcendentalist, and she is engaging in such petty fight with Indra. She is focusing on petty fight, where she has in her own home at her disposal Kashyapa Muni, who can bestow highest benediction. So our this is called misuse of free will, misuse of our independence. Diti has facility for everything. She has facility for highest transcendence. She has facility for sense gratification. She has facility for sinful activities. She has a facility for taking. All these facilities are there. But what she decided is something not the best. So similarly, we also have all these facilities. We also have the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, who are the greatest transcendentalists. So we can follow their path. We can take their mercy, try to take their feelings to please them. Or we have other things, other facilities are there. So choice is ours. Just like choice, Diti had a choice and she made a choice, and our journey, our choices will define our journey. So we also have choice to remain transcendental platform or to come to this platform of ignorance, of seeing enemies and friends, distinguishing enemies and friends, and trying to be take the path of woes, revenge, or go into some other directions. So therefore, we make our destiny on what we choose. So therefore, we should choose very, very intelligently, which decides our path, because you cannot take one national highway which goes to Bombay and expect we reach Chennai. That is called foolishness. Foolishness means we take the national highway which goes to Bombay and dream that we will be in Chennai or we will be in somewhere Delhi. This is called foolishness, ignorance and foolishness. So we should make our choices very, very carefully, because once we make the choice, we will be going in that direction far and very difficult to come back. So therefore, in the beginning itself, one should be very careful when he is making his decisions, taking certain directions. So therefore, it's good to listen to some of our advisors, well-wishers. Keep some advisors whom we think more advanced than us and follow them. So it is necessary at least one person whom we think is more advanced and more senior in the devotion, more advanced in devotion, more close to Sri Guru and Gauranga. We keep at least one person in our life and take their advice, even if we don't like it, even if we don't are convinced. So because that is the only way to save from our foolishness, not go into a deviation path. No, it's called Kumbhakonam. Kumbhakonam, we have a place called Kumbhakonam. Kumbha means big, Kona means deviation. So in the beginning, the deviation looks like only a little deviation. But if you see after some time, it will be a Kumbhakona. It's a big deviation. So therefore, each one of us should have a physical living one advisor, guide for us, whom we accept his guidance above our logic and above our reasoning. That is one good way to save ourselves from going down the deviation, wrong path for too long. Otherwise, our mind can cheat us very nicely, as it has been cheating us for many millions and millions of births, millions of lifetimes. So think Guru and Krishna, their feelings, not your feelings. That is beginning of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, any questions, please come forward. And
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Thank you for this wonderful class. Yeah, if anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Holiness Bhaktiswarup Respect Maharaji. Maharaji, I have a question related to the context, but not exactly related to the class that you have given. So, shall I?
you are the moderator, you have all the. You will decide. I am only your humble servant of the moderator.
Jagannath.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah, Maharaj. So, in this episode, see, our Kashyapa Muni is indirectly or conveying his thing indirectly, making Diti to follow. Like so, in one sense, he had that belief that if we say straight away to Diti that you should not go in this direction, so she is not going to follow that. So he has given some indirect path or indirect way, so, which means like somewhere that strong faith what strong faith is there within him that she is not going to follow exactly if she is conveyed directly, and on the other side Diti is trying to follow what Kashyap Muni is saying exactly like no, you follow these things that then you will fulfill whatever the wish that you want. So she has kept complete faith on his instructions. So how to understand this?
She has not put complete faith in Kashyapa Muni. If she had complete faith, she would have asked, I want to take revenge on Indra. What do you think? Right? And Kashyapa Muni, being a husband, he knows her, how much she follows him. Right? She would follow him only if she would advise her in what she wants. Just like many of us. We follow the authority only if he tells us what we want to do. This is a very common experience we have. That we follow the authority only if he gives us instruction what I want to do. Otherwise, there is so much internal and external struggle and expression of dissent and so many things are there. So this drama is nothing new to Kashyapa Muni, because right, it is something which goes in the house every day. So he doesn't want to repeat that again. So being a husband, he knows her what she's up to. So therefore, he advised her. So therefore, as soon as he agreed to advise her what she wanted to do, she's immediately ready to follow. That is actually really not following. I will follow you if you tell me what I want to do. So then whom I am following? I am following myself, my mind. And somebody is assisting me, my mind. That's all. So Kashyapa Muni is helping her mind. It's what she wanted to do. But he is being a little intelligent. He is putting Narayan in the process so that she will be purified. But otherwise, she is not following Kashyapa Muni. Following doesn't mean that you tell me how I can achieve what I want, then I follow that. That is called following. That is called cheating. So following means I don't have any wants. I want to do what you want to do. That is called following. So Diti is not in a position to follow Kashyapa Muni, but she is following her mind with the assistance of Kashyapa. So it is not fully following Kashyapa Muni. Like beautifully our Balaram Prabhuji has explained yesterday that those spiritual masters say yes to what we propose. That may not be his real intention. Either he doesn't want to disappoint us or he doesn't want us to disobey him, right? Or many reasons. So even if spiritual master says yes, we must be very careful because we have to see the origin. Is it origin from me or from spiritual master? Where does the thought originate from? If the thought is originating within me, spiritual master may be saying yes, but may not be yes because he wants to save us. Because if it is no, then we may not even follow him. So then we will be immediately incurring the disobedience to spiritual master, not following his instructions. And also, spiritual master being kind, he is allowing. So we should be. So therefore, one should be very, very eager, and one should be very eager to know the mind of the spiritual master. So then only he can make progress. Otherwise, he will continue progress as before because he will be wanting sanction from the spiritual master. Spiritual master will be sanctioning. So therefore, my pace of journey will be as before. There won't be much difference after I accept spiritual master and before I accept spiritual master. Because my journey is same. Before also I am doing whatever I want. After taking initiation also I am doing what I want. But with only I am taking tapa, stamp from spiritual master. So there is no much difference in our progress before accepting a spiritual master, after accepting a spiritual master. If we don't try to understand or if we don't try to put our opinions and our desires to him, we have to first stop this, putting our desires. And when we start listening him, trying to understand his heart, so this connection of guru disciple is by the heart, not by the big seva, small seva, or it is by understanding the heart, what spiritual master wants. So such a disciple will be intimately connected with the spiritual master. Otherwise, seemingly it may appear that somebody is getting big instruction to throw mountain in the ocean. It may appear that he is the greatest devotee, but it could be internally different. He may be wanting to throw the mountains, and spiritual master is saying, yes, okay, throw the mountains. So that could be he want to show that he can throw mountains to others. There could be many things. So therefore, one should be, the duty of the disciple is to know the heart of the spiritual master and then do seva to fulfill that. Even if that is a little small seva, whatever time I have for spiritual life, that is enough. That much we dedicate to him, exactly what he wants and how he wants. And then we will make a lot of progress. So this is how we trick ourselves. Our mind tricks us. Manorathena. We are still being carried by our mind. Manorathena. But I am thinking I am a disciple. So the mind is very, very tricky. We should not get tricked by the mind, which will degrade us. So for that, we have to change our nature, our desire to please spiritual master, not to please what I want to. Even within the spiritual realm, even the Krishna service, without the sanction of the spiritual master, truly from within inside, Krishna will not be happy. You want to do something, you go and get permission from Guru Maharaj, Guru, you think Krishna will be happy? Maybe more happy than the person who is doing on his own without asking, but not as much as the person who is looking into what the spiritual master wants and doing. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekaha kurunandana. This should be the single pointed goal and attention of a disciple. Then only he is a disciple. Otherwise, he is not a disciple. Disciple means one who lives with spiritual master. One lives with spiritual master by knowing his what he wants, not I want, and then doing that. Just like one after marriage, wife should live with the husband. Then only she is real wife. Otherwise, not living up to the promise of the marriage. Same with the husband. So similarly, disciple and spiritual master, they live together when the disciple executes the divine instruction of the spiritual master. So the instructions, one should distinguish between instructions and approvals. If one is not intelligent enough, one may take approval as instruction and one may go into Kumbhakona. It's a big deviation. He's gone a long. He has developed something and then got attached and entangled, just like this the spider gets entangled. So in the beginning, we should be very, very careful. In the beginning, when we make a step. Shri Guru Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittate Koriya Yakya Arana Kariha Mane Asha. This Asha we should have. I want to do only that thing that Guru Maharaj wants from the core of his heart. Arana Kariha Mane Asha. I will not do anything else. So if we can develop that kind of mood, then our progress will be very, very nice. We will become a very nice Vaishnava in the spirit, not in the dress. Otherwise, we will remain in the dress Vaishnava for until the rest of our life. Dress Vaishnava, very easy. Put Kanti Mala, put nice tilak, and we are Vaishnava. So, but if we develop this spirit, then we become really a nice Vaishnava, humble Vaishnava. So, this is what defines as a disciple. And without disciple, what is being a Vaishnava? So, this is very, very important. So, Diti is following her husband only because husband is entertaining her desires. So, what do I want to be? That is the question Bhagavatam is asking from this chapter. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharaji. Hare Krishna. Yes, our Akrod Prabhu is having something. Akrod Prabhu, please.
Akrod Prabhu is back. Hari Bol, welcome back.
Dandavat Maharaj, I am still in hospital. Today I get discharged.
Hari Bol. Bless Prabhuji, please.
Thank you, Maharaj, very much. One most important word I heard, Kumbhakona. Bausa khai anantasa, buddhare avevisainam. Sometimes it appears that we are in right track, but yet we are going by our intentions, as you explained. The situations like when we have to exercise choices, we instead tried some awkward, revenges, reactive, or remedious measure to solve the problems in life, which actually do not solve, make more messes. However, if we make only intention of Guru as the everything, like me understanding myself, a speck of dust of Guru Maharaj, let me dazzle always only in the service of Guru Maharaj. If this consciousness remain strong and a prideless, less automatically get developed that understanding myself a small part of this universal plan. Instead, let me just become the part of the big vision of my spiritual master in all the way. This is a comment, Maharaj.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much, Prabhuji. Take rest.
Except from me.
You are still not 100% right because you are having a heavy, you are feeling little difficulty in speaking freely. So please take enough rest. Thank you for your darshan and your voice. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavad.
So very nice. So Diti would have thought, I want to kill Indra. Does Krishna wants to kill Indra? This is the question she failed to put. And that is the same question we also failed to put in many occasions. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, moderator Prabhuji, any other questions?
Our
Harsh.
Balramji is having one more question. Madam. Shall we? Or
Yes, Prabhuji.
yes, Balramji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Very
Pranam,
nice
Balram
class.
Prabhuji.
So I have two small questions. One is why the sons of Deti are called Marutas. Is there anything related to that?
Yeah, they must be the souls who are appearing as Maruts. Maybe there must be some story which I am not recollecting. They may be taking birth to Diti. Marth demigods, maybe. So, I
So
don't
like,
remember, Prabhuji.
like we have the Maruta, the Bayu.
Yes, they must be there, some taking birth again through her to complete their tenure. But I don't remember anything why they called Maruts. Any other devotees can answer if they know.
And the other question is we can think even in the point of view of deity that if someone wants to kill Indra, then I mean one has to pray for Krishna only.
Why would you pray to Krishna to kill Indra? If the question you have to ask before praying is that Krishna wants to kill Indra.
Yeah.
If that is not true, then why do you want to pray? Then you are not Krishna conscious. You are self-conscious. You are pretty ordinary. As our Govind Maharaj says, being ordinary is a curse, and we are cursed to ourselves. We are cursing ourselves.
Yes, Maharaji. Yeah.
Why don't we put this question? Does Krishna want to kill Indra? Bhagavatam says, Indrari Vyakulam Loke Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. Lord appears in every yuga to protect the enemy, to kill the enemies of Indra. So, by praying to Krishna, you are revealing you are an enemy of Indra. So then, what is the next? Then Krishna has to kill you.
So this
is called foolishness.
Yes. And Kashyap Muni, what he has instructed is in knowledge because
right.
He instructed the correct person to be worshipped. Even if she will be successful, then only Krishna can kill him. If Diti would have been successful in his concept.
Yeah, so what is the question? You want Krishna to kill Indra because Diti wants to kill Indra?
This is
Are you somehow wants to compel Krishna to kill Indra?
No, Maharaj. Yeah,
First
thank
of
you.
all, Diti being a wife, she wouldn't have any desire other than, she wouldn't have separate desire from Kashyapa Muni.
Yes.
So wives can have a desire something like, I want this nice food, I want to have nice this ornaments. These things are allowed. She can have separate desires. But other than that, I want nice house, something. These things she is entitled to ask without any problem. But other things, she generally wouldn't have any separate desires. So Diti killing Indra is no ordinary task. So to have such desires independent of her husband is wrong in the first place. So wife means to see what husband wants, and that way some mission will be achieved. Otherwise, no mission. Now Diti is busy with her revenge, right? For that, Kashyapa Muni had to break his vows and engage in the family affairs and entertain Diti and have a child. So what happened? Even Kashyapa Muni is diverted, right? So that's what happens when we have a desire from separate from the spiritual master. We distract spiritual master also, because we take his energy, his time, his so many things. So one thing is that I am deviating, I am also distracting my spiritual master from his seva, from his engagement with my illicit proposals. So any desire we have separate from the Guru and Krishna, it is called illicit desire. As a disciple, this is what we should have. So that desire to kill Indra is not proper in the first place.
Yes, Maharaj. That's envious mindset. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, there are 4 more questions.
Yes, Prabhuji, questions. Let us take questions.
Srikant Prabhuji, please.
It's not a question, just 30 seconds explanation for Marut.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
please.
When these kids, these infants were crying, Indra told them not to cry, Marut. So then that's the reason. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Haripad Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Maharaj.
Dhanavad Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Very nice class, Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Your blessings of the Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj, and the blessings of Guru Maharaj and Vaishnavas, some seva, little seva. If it is nice, please bless me.
You need to bless me, Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please tell, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this quality of compassion you talked about. So you told that we should never leave this compassion. So how to develop this quality of compassion? So can you explain a little bit?
Yes, compassion is result of thinking about what Krishna wants. So compassion, for our stage, compassion means obliging ourselves to what Krishna wants. If you meditate what Krishna wants, then you will automatically be displaying compassion. Means you will be impelled to act in certain way. That would be nothing but compassion, because Krishna is all but compassion. So that will give immense pleasure when you act in the direction what Guru Krishna wants. You experience the true love. That is the most fundamental or innermost in innermost thirst of the soul is to experience some love from somebody. So when you act on the platform of the love, you experience joy. So therefore, you will do more and more compassionate. Krishna will be more and more pleased. Guru will be more and more pleased. So this is how Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samasate Sura. So one who has Akinchana Bhakti. Akinchana Bhakti means to see what they want. That is Bhakti. Bhakti is seeing what they want. Not that I follow some rules, regulations and I do whatever I want. So when we do that, Akinchana Bhakti means not deviating from what they want and keeping aside what I want. Then all the good qualities of the demigods, they manifest in us, because what they want is no less than the qualities of the Lord himself. Guru and Krishna, they are on the transcendental platform. Their feelings are one. So when we follow their feelings, execute their feelings, then our feelings also will become like their feelings. And we experience immense joy. So only those who are bereft of this joy, they take to the lower joy of taking revenge. That is called low class happiness. Being happy by taking revenge. Very, very low class. By taking revenge on somebody, I get some happiness. Even on the material platform is very, very low class. So, of course, that also has some happiness, because I am envious. Revenge gives some happiness. But that is nothing, nowhere near the happiness of compassion. So, we should, in the beginning, we should force ourselves. But once we force ourselves, once we act on that platform, we experience something very sublime. Something very, very, which we have not experienced before. We have some little experience of material compassion, but experience on the compassion on the transcendental platform, because Guru and Krishna wants, and I will do it for their pleasure. And that is the greatest pleasure a living being can experience. So once we experience that, we will again hanker for that pleasure only. This is how we will be. So therefore, this is Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavatam classes, and hearing, we should take inspiration from them and make some modification in our life to implement something in our life. That is the beginning. And when we start implementing, we experience a joy of compassion, joy of acting for Krishna. We don't focus on being compassionate. We focus on Krishna. And compassion is a part of Krishna. So therefore, we will be automatically compassionate. I don't need to separately plan to be compassionate. Automatically they come, all the good qualities of Krishna will manifest in us. So this is my limited knowledge, Prabhuji. Thank you for your question. Thank you for joining. It gives great
Thank you,
joy
Maharaj.
to see a great joy. So therefore, action in Krishna consciousness. Action brings consciousness. Act for Krishna, then we will develop Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We will go to next question, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Lot of discussion already, very wonderful going.
Dandut Pranam, Maharaj.
Dandut Pranam, all goes to Srila. So it's amazing, this Vedic tradition and the history. It just keeps on evolving and evolving. And as we know that many beings come again and again and again, taking different roles during different kalpas and sometimes manvantaras and different things. And that's why I see many groups of, even among these Marutas, all this history, curse, so many things So although they are connected to Rudra, they are Maruta is also described as a son of Rudra. And as our Balramji said that related to the Vayu, So that's why Vayu Devi is considered chief Marutas. And 49, and they are in the Vedas also described as the attendants of Indra. So somehow or other, as the story goes in this case, their role as the attendant of Indra continues even when they are invoked by Diti, his son, to kill Indra, beneficial or attendance or all these things. What this tells us is that this continuation in this cycle, very fantastic stories about Swarga and different lokas, but they are all stuck. It's a wonderful entertainment through the pages of Bhagavatam, which we are. What is the message ultimately from all these different, wonderful, fantastic, far out incidents?
The single pointed purpose of all the stories of Bhagavatam is to help us out in our conditioned state. Because every story has something which we can relate in our life. The Diti incident, if you carefully see, it has a lot of implications in our life. So every story, every incident of Srimad Bhagavatam is taking us to next level. And that's what Srimad Bhagavatam wants us. Because for entertainment, there are so many Puranas are there. So many Puranas are there. Of course, they also purify. But Srimad Bhagavatam is collection of the essence of all Puranas, where we can see right away practical consequences for our advancement on highest transcendental platform. Just like the honey bee collects makarand, nectar from flowers, and prepares in one place, Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly all these nectars which we need to incorporate in our life, gathered from all the Vedic scriptures and put it in one place. So therefore, every chapter has something for us to modify ourselves. So if we don't make conscious attempt to modify ourselves by hearing Bhagavatam, then we will not be able to take full advantage. But by regularly hearing the Bhagavatam from the Vaishnavas, from the devotees, we will be inspired to take them into our life. That is a single pointed purpose, to transfer our deviations from Kumbhakonas, divert all our Kumbhakonas to the real angle, that is Krishna. This Bhagavatam is narrated so that Parikshit Maharaj can constantly think about Krishna. So all these incidents, they are correcting our one angle deviated from Krishna. So every incident is a different angle that is taken away from Krishna. So it is brought again to Krishna. So the sole purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is to bring all our feelings to Krishna. All feelings. To converge all feelings into Krishna. So here, the feelings of taking revenge, they will be converged by reading this story and understanding that I should be interested to please Krishna, not to fulfill my revenge. This is the deviation we have to correct from reading this chapter. Same like all other chapters. 360 chapters. So every chapter has something for us to correct. And if we implement, if every day we try one, whole year we can be busy with correcting our deviations. That is the whole purpose of Bhagavatam, to correct our deviations from transcendence. So Bhagavatam, every day morning, it warns us. This is a deviation. Don't deviate. Fall in line with Krishna consciousness. Be conscious of Krishna. Don't be self-conscious. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So they are providing like simulations that sometimes a sadhaka may think that, well, my envy or my situation is not as big. You know?
Or it is justified.
I can handle my situation. I justify whatever I do. You know, I have to take care of my position. But it could be more and more entangling. And
because slight deviation in due course of time, it takes us very, very long away. See?
Wow.
You see angle, no? Even point, not 1 degree deviation. See, the water molecule, if you have heard Guru's lecture, even if point not 1, thoda sa deviation ho gaya, so this world will not be there. Water molecule ke angle hai, itna deviation ho gaya. That means their long-term effect will be so vast that this existence of this world itself is in question mark. Life, the existence of life is in a question mark. So similarly, all our different deviations, we should immediately correct, small, big, because they take us very, very apart from Krishna.
So we can get lost. So we can get lost again in no time. So this is our best opportunity, because we can say if through intelligence or whatever causeless blessing, if we think that Guru Maharaj has found us or we have found Guru Maharaj, we have to make it become true, to real sense. Otherwise, this, as you said, Maharaj, deviations and this, they could be so again get lost for so many lifetimes. It's such a serious subject matter, isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj. Because this envy, we are haunted by this envy for so many lifetimes. Envy of Krishna, that transferred to envy of Vaishnavas, envy of other human beings, other living entities. Why can't let things go? Why can't let go things for Krishna? For God's sake, they say. No? So, for God's sake also we cannot let go, which means that we don't care God. That is a simple message. If we can't let go things for God, which means that we don't care God. It is as simple as that. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
And it ultimately harms us only. You know, it's like somebody expressed the news that we can appreciate many things in the creation of Krishna. You know, appreciating, but do we appreciate ourselves enough in relation to Krishna? What a wonderful me. You know, even if one is self-centered, it has to be ultimately one's appreciation for oneself has to be expressed through the gratitude towards Krishna. Thank you, Krishna, for creating me, and I will do my part to really value you creating me. So we don't love ourselves enough. In that sense, Maharaj, can be that just a perspective. That, how much we value ourselves. How can we afford to harm ourselves if we are called as intelligent beings? In spite of so much episodes, so many angles of Srimad Bhagavatam, do I feel mercy on myself enough? Do I want to really do the best for me? How can I harm myself, and for how long?
Yes, Maharaj. Inate vidu swarda gatim hi Vishnu. Our real self-interest is Vishnu. So, if we become Vishnu conscious, that will be our real self-interest. Anything deviation will be harmful to us. That is not in real our self-interest, because we'll end up in many complications in due course of time. Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, we have one last question by our Nilmadhav Prabhuji.
Neelamadhavaya namaha.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, yes.
So,
Please, Prabhuji, please bless us with your question.
Hare Baba. Okay, anyway, I feel sorry for asking this question, but still I will ask anyway to clarify doubt. So, as a beginner, as beginner stage, like as neophyte devotees, we take this akama sarvakama moksha kama sloka is there, na? Tivrena bhakti. So that one, actually, what is the, if you can help us out to understand what is the real purport of this sloka, and what is the purpose and purport of this
Real
sloka?
purport of this sloka is that whatever it is, don't go to another demigod.
Okay. And next level is like how to actually make transition from this sloka to pure devotional service. Right.
Yeah, once you worship Krishna, you have to worry what Krishna wants.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
That is Krishna consciousness. To worry about what Krishna wants, to worry about what I want, that is not Krishna consciousness. To worry about what Guru and Krishna wants is Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaji. Yeah, we can conclude for the day.
Okay. Thank you all for patiently listening me. Please forgive me for any errors, and please bless me so that I can cultivate some of these good qualities that Bhagavatam is bringing to our attention. Vanchakalpadarbhyasya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. गुरु महाराज श्रील श्रीपाद की जय. भागवतम भक्त वैष्णव वृंद की जय. ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि.
Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class.